Yeah, guys, I want to go ahead and share this little story. I've been wanting to share this, and I have time today. Since I don't have to, I'll go back to work and finish cleaning and stuff. There we go. So her name, okay, come on, baby, it's right there. So my husband and I, we think, we believe that she's a girl. We're not 100% sure. But we're thinking that she's a girl. So he says, baby, because I've been calling her, hey, kitty, kitty, kitty. I'll be very honest with you. I've been calling her that, and my husband is like, baby, I don't like that name. We need to pick a name for her. But I've just been calling her that, you know. Um, my Actually, I called the vet, and the vet asked me, what do you want to name her? What do you want to name the cat? I said, well, I don't know if it's a male or a female. So right now I'm just, I don't know, Tiger. That's what I saw, that they put Tiger, they put her as Tiger on the at the vet, you know, because I'm gonna be taking her at the vet. But then my daughter, she told me, she says, Mama, she is so pretty. She says, why don't you name her? Why don't you name the cat Tigger, like Winnie the Pooh, you know? So anyway, so I've been calling her Kitty, and then you know the vet had her as Tiger. Then my daughter is saying Tigger, and then I was thinking to myself, you know what? I think I'm gonna call her Grace if she's a girl. Because of the way she got saved. So anyway, yesterday my husband says, baby, we need to start calling her the name. I'm thinking it's a girl. So I said, well, what do you think about Grace? He says, okay, then Grace it is. So I've been calling her Grace. Look how beautiful she is. So she's eating her kitty food. I put some chicken there. Mama baked some chicken for her. So my husband, he teases me. He's like, baby, now you have a Farmville at home. Guys, he says I have a Farmville. But anyway, I want to go ahead and share this story of Grace, okay? This is the story of Grace, okay? And that is her name. So we are not sure how old she is. I do know she's a little baby. I showed a video of her at Tractor Supply when I went to get her little bed and cat litter, and to a man. I was bold and I asked a guy that I saw he was buying cat food, and I showed him the video because I wasn't sure what kind of cat food to get because I haven't had a cat in a long time. So he went ahead and he says, I'm thinking that she is maybe 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. And then my future son-in-law came in last night because my daughter is visiting town, and he looked at her and he's like, Miss Teresa, I think I think this kitty is around maybe 4, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, is a baby. So it may seem, maybe on the camera, since I have it up close, it may seem like it's a big cat, but this is actually a little fur baby. It's a baby. But I want to go ahead and share the story of how we got her. And I'll be very sincere with you guys. All of the pets that we have, starting with the dogs, with Jack. Jack is the male. He's a Jack Russell mixed with Chihuahua. And he's actually on the couch. Let me see if I can show you guys real quick how he looks. I'm going to turn the camera around for a second. So anyway, so let me show you. I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit about my pets. So let me turn the camera around. So this is Jack right here. He's a Chihuahua. He's mixed with Chihuahua. So anyway, so him right here, we got him. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. So his name is Jack, and we got him one day. My sister, she called me, and she says, Teresa, do you want another dog? And I'm like, I don't think so, because at that time I had him. No, at that time I had my dog that passed away last year. I didn't have him. Okay, when she called me if I wanted this one right here. She passed away last year. Her name was Bella. So anyway, so she called me and I said, I don't know. I said, I gotta talk. I'm gonna have to talk to Ruben. You know, Ruben is my husband. I'm gonna have to talk to him and see um, if he wants us, you know, to have another dog because we already had one, you know, which was my old dog, the one that passed away last year. Her name was Bella. I think some of you guys saw pictures of her that I posted on the community post. So look, he likes it when I look. He likes to be pat. He likes to be rubbed. So anyway, so I went ahead and I went behind my husband's back. I'll be very sincere with you. And me and my daughter, I told my sister, sure. She says, Teresa, if you don't get him, she says, more, I'm gonna have to take him to the pond, and more than likely, because she says the owners don't want him, so they gave him to me. But then my big dog, because she had a big dog, her big dog was not getting along with this one because he's a little dog. So she said he's grabbing him, and they're like, he grabs him, and like they're just like they're fighting. She says I feel bad for him. So she says I didn't know who else to call us. So it touched my heart. So I said, okay, fine, I'll go ahead and I'll pick him up. But I didn't talk to my husband. So anyway, so I went to the Outer Banks and I picked this one up, Jack, right here. So he was given to me by my sister. In other words, they were going to take him to the pond, and I don't know if they were going to put him to sleep or whatnot. But anyway, I went ahead and I picked him up, me and my daughter, and we came back. And at that time, we were living at the new apartments. And when we came, as soon as I opened the door, this little one right here, he flew out of the door and he went running, okay, behind the apartments where we were living at here in Elizabeth City. It was new apartments, because now we're living in different apartments. So anyway, that night, guys, I started chasing him. Me and my daughter, you know, and I remember I went around the pond because they have like a man-made lake there. And man, I finally got like we finally got him. And he was like shaking and trembling. He was just afraid. And up to now, he still does not like any car rides. He gets very anxious. So he's not a dog that you can put him in a car and go for a car ride. And I told my husband that I'm going to see if I can try again, and because I would like for him to, because my old dog, she used to love car rides, but this one here, he gets anxious, you know. And he's also, you could tell that he comes from being abused because, you know, like whenever I get the fly catcher and I try to kill flies, whenever flies enter our apartment, he gets all shaky, and he gets off the couch and he goes to hide underneath the table. So you can see that, you know, he still has trauma, you know, from the past. I don't know what he went through, but I'm just glad that we were able to save him. But like I said, so that night, you know, after we caught him, me and my daughter, we took him upstairs, and my husband was upstairs with the old dog, Bella. And when my husband saw him, obviously my husband got upset with me, you know, because I had gotten the dog. And he's like, is he fixed? You know, because he was not fixed yet. I said, no, he's not fixed yet. But anyway, the thing is, he was concerned because our female dog was not fixed. But to make the story short and not make it so long, we finally, these two dogs, him, Jack right here, with our old dog, Bella, they went ahead, you know, and they started getting along. So he got fixed and everything. He got taken care of. And now he's with us. So our baby right here, he's mama's boy. He's mama's boy, yeah. So in other words, he was given to us. This one right here. He was given to us, and I believe that his life got saved as well. And now, my next dog is her, Chloe. Chloe right here, she has a really cool story because Chloe is my old dog. She used to live with me and my daughter when we were with my ex-husband, my second marriage. This is how long she has been living, guys. My husband, I remember, man, since 2012. I don't know how many years. She's at least 14, 15 years old. I don't know. She's really old, and actually she had a sister. Her sister was white, and she was very curly, but her sister ended up passing away last year, and it's really cool too because during that time my mom was she was heading to Belize with my dad and my sister, and my mom, she asked me, she says, Teresa, do you think, she says, that you can pick up Chloe and babysit her for me. She says, well, I'm gone. It was supposed to be that I was only going to babysit for her. But I told her that I was not sure because during this time last year, my dog Bella, she was still alive, and Jack, the one I just showed you guys, so I had two dogs at the house. So I mean, a third dog. I said, I don't know if my husband's gonna like that. So anyway, I remember I went because they had a wedding that day. One of my friends was getting married, and after the wedding, I could not stop seeing her face. I kept seeing her face in my mind. And I said, man, I said, okay, Lord, okay, I'm going to call my mom and I'm going to tell her I'm going to go and pick up Chloe. I'm going to go pick her up. So anyway, it was God putting her in my mind. I kept seeing her face. So I called my mom. I said, Mama, I said, you know what? I was thinking about it. I told her, and I haven't called Ruben yet to ask him, but I told her I just can't stop thinking about Chloe. I said, can I go ahead and I said, if I don't know who has the key, but can I go and pick up the dogs? Because my mom and dad, they had already left town because they were going to be flying out, I think it was the next day, something like that. So she said, yeah, go ahead. She says, just get the key from your sister. So I went and got the key, and me and my nephew, Erlin, we went to pick her up and went to pick their big dog, because their big dog, they had given their big dog to my parents as well. So when I went to pick her up, guys, and I saw her in the crate, I guess you call it, in the little box where my mom had her, she looked so depressed and she looked so sad. And and then I understood why the Lord kept putting her in my mind, because God didn't want her to stay there, because she was depressed and sad, because many of us, we think that animals don't know, but animals, they know. Think about it. Her sister had just died. Like my mom told me, my mom said that she and my dad, I guess they had went out for the day, like on a day trip. And when they came back, they found the dog, okay, dead. Her sister died. So it was so sad that I remember I put the leash on her and she didn't even want to walk. That's how depressed this dog right here was. So I put the leash on her. I took her out that night. I made her do pee pee and poo poo. And then my nephew, he grabbed the big dog. So anyway, I dropped my nephew off with the big dog. And then I came all the way home and brought this one here. And then when I brought her home, obviously, because on my way, I called my husband. I said, baby, I said, I'm bringing Chloe. I'm bringing Chloe home. And how you call it? My husband says, well, baby, he says, you're the one that takes care of them, so you're going to have more work. I said, I don't mind. But I was not planning on keeping her. The plan was for her to stay a couple of days. And when my mom came back from Belize, that she was going to go back. But then when she came, okay, and my husband saw her, my husband says, baby, he says, she's depressed, because we could see it all over her. So, and not only that, like whenever I remember one day when I was taking them out, her and Jack, the dog I just showed you guys, I was taking them out and I got tangled with the leashes, you know. She turned her face the other way and I saw fear on her face. For those of us that we don't believe that animals, animals is like, I would say like humans, because the same way that we feel afraid, they get afraid. I saw very clearly she turned her face the other way, but she turned her face, like she was thinking that I was gonna like kick her, and I'm like, oh baby, no, I'm not gonna do that to you. So that's when I realized that she has trauma, from abuse from the past. I'll be honest with you. My ex-husband, a lot of times I would fight with him because I remember times that he would kick this dog right here. So she comes from abuse right here. So she has trauma. So anyway, it touched my heart what she started. You see how she keeps doing that? What she started doing from the first day that I bought her, this, she did not forget. A dog will never forget you. She did not forget. She remembered that I am her original owner. Okay? She did not forget. And when she saw my daughter, she was smelling my daughter, and like I got like emotional, Because my daughter, she's like, Mama, she remembers us. I said, yes, she remembers us. We were her original owners, you know. So I felt like guilty because I said, man, I abandoned her and her sister, you know, because I was so, all I was just consumed and focused on me, you know, leaving the house and getting a divorce, that I just grabbed her and her sister and I just went and dropped them at my mom's house, you know, not realizing that it was going to affect her and her sister, you know. But anyway, she started following me all around the house here. And she follows me everywhere. And when she leaves, she walks me to the door. And when I come back, she meets me at the door, at the front of the door. So this is my buddy right here. This buddy right here, Chloe. This girl, she loves me very much, don't you, Mama? Yeah, you love me very much. So this dog right here, she's the senior of the house. And so anyway, when I saw that, I asked my husband, I said, baby, I said, I want to keep her. I said, can I keep her? So I went ahead and I sent a message to my mama in Belize, you know, while she was over there in Belize. I said, Mama, I said, can I keep Chloe? I said, she remembers me. I said, can I go ahead and keep her? You know? So my mom says, fine, you can go ahead and keep her. So I kept her. So that's how I got, this is my old dog, Chloe. That's how I got her. So now, going back to my kitty, like I was telling you guys just now, I'm gonna turn the camera around. Like I was telling you guys just now, that little cute little baby. Let me see if I can turn the camera around. I'm in love with this kitty. Hold on a second. I wanna turn the camera around. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. I mean, she's so tiny. She's a tiny baby. Say hi. She's playing hide and seek. Because she's running away from Jack. But Jack ain't gonna do her nothing. So anyway, so let me go ahead and share her story. Hey, baby. So it amazes me how God brought, I want to see if I can get a hold of her, but she won't let me. She's still very much afraid, guys. I do not know what she went through, but she's very much afraid. She's still afraid. So anyway, so this is what happened. She's playing with him. So this just happened a couple days ago. Okay. So I've been busy taking care of her because she's a little baby. I have to be feeding her. They told me I have to feed her 4 times a day, but I've been feeding her 3 times a day. And she's been doing pretty good. But I got to take her to the vet. So a couple of days ago, I have a video about this. I did record a video. I just haven't had time to upload it. That's the reason why I prefer to do the lives, because they stay recorded on here. But I will upload the video because in that video, I recorded her when I had first gotten her. So anyway, so we have a shed right here at our house. Okay. And in this shed, once in a blue moon, okay, we have random cats that they come, you know, and you hear them meowing, you know, but then the next day they leave, you know, like that. This little thing right here, okay, I still don't understand how she got here. And all I can say, this is divine, because this is how we've gotten all of these cats, all of these dogs. You know, we have not paid money for them. The Lord has sent them our way so we can rescue them, so we can take care of them and give them love and feed them, you know. So I remember I took my dogs out, and when I took my dogs out, I heard them meowing, but I'm looking around, and because usually, you know, they're being stuck in the corner, and I didn't see, but I heard a meow. But you know, not because she's a baby, so she meows, but it's not like how you say, like an older cat, you know. So I said, I don't see anything. So anyway, I came back. Then my husband came. Then I heard it again, and I said, baby, I think there's a cat, you know. So my husband went out, and then he came back in because, you know, I had fixed food, and he's like, give me some meat. So he grabbed some meat and he went outside, and he's like, baby, come out here. So he went out. I went out, and he's handing her a little bit of meat, and he's giving it to her, you know, but he's had to put it on the floor, you know, because she's afraid. And I see the little kitten, We see her right there in the corner. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna post the original. I'm gonna post the video of the day we found her because I have it. I just haven't had time to upload it. And she's coming out, you know. So anyway, and you could see, okay, you could see that she's a stray cat, a cat that has last, she's last, I guess she's been wandering. I don't know where else she was, but she's a baby. So I'm thinking in my mind, we're thinking that she must have been with her mama, and more than likely, her mama must have had more kittens, you know? And I wonder what happened to her mama and what happened to her siblings. Because she's a baby. I mean, right now she's playing. She likes to play with everything. I have to watch her to not play with my wires. So anyway, so you could tell, and guys, so anyway, so me and my husband, we decided to feed her. And it's crazy because did you see those two bowls that I showed you guys at the beginning of this live right here? Those two bowls, I didn't buy those two bowls. Okay. On Mother's Day, when I went to visit my mom, and I was reflecting on this, okay. My mom, because every time I go to my mom's house, my mom likes to offer me different things. That's just the way my mom is, because my mom is a woman that likes to go to the thrift store. So my mom, she was giving me some leashes for the dogs, and then she had these two bowls. But these two bowls, they came on I don't know how you call it, like a container, where you sit on the floor and you put the two bowls, one for water and one for food. And I told my mom, I said, I'll take the two bowls, but I'm not going to take the holder. But not knowing, okay, this was on Mother's Day, not knowing that the Lord was providing, okay, because God knew that we were going to get a cat. This was not in our plans, now we were going to get a cat. So that I was reflecting on that yesterday. I said, isn't that something? Oh God, because those two bowls, my mom gave me those two bowls during Mother's Day. Okay. And that's what I'm using. Those are little bows, that's what I'm using for her. So anyway, we decided to give her water and feed her that day because she was outside, but she was very much afraid, you could see that she was afraid, and she'd be like hissing at you. And then her hairs would be standing up, I guess, because, like that's their way to show that they're, I guess they're feeling like oh, I don't know you, like threatening. But we were just trying to feed her. So we gave her water and food. And then, because my husband had to go to work, I went to work, I had a client, and I got so concerned. I remember I got so concerned because I left her outside, I gave her water and food. So anyway, so I went to work because I said, okay, I only got one more client. In my mind, I'm thinking I only got one more client. I want to come back home, and I want to see if I can, because we had to figure out what we were going to do with the cat. See if I can get close to her, see if she's going to let me grab her, So anyway, so I went, and I did my client, and then I came back, So anyway, so what I want to say, I don't remember if I recorded, I think I recorded the video. I don't know if it was before or afterwards, but the video that I'm going to share with you guys so you guys can see how she looked. So guys, when I was recording that video that I'm going to share with you guys, okay, and I was speaking and I was looking at her, I said, oh my goodness, because I was able to get a closer look to her. Guys, this cat was so full of fleas. She was full of fleas, okay, all over from her head, okay, all over, okay. Her whole body was so full of fleas, okay. She was full of fleas. So I felt so much compassion, when I saw that. And when I saw that, it just reminded me, of me, who I was, before I came to Jesus. Think about it, guys. That symbolizes right there, those of us, okay, when we were out there in the world and we had a whole bunch of demons, it just caused me to reflect. So anyway, that evening I came, I came back from work, and I was so happy because I was thinking in my head, I don't want her to run to the road because the road is right here, or a car could run over her, or if she leaves, an animal can get her because, she hisses at you and her hair is standing up, like she's defending herself, but she don't really know how to defend herself. We realized that until now. She doesn't scratch you or bite you because she's a baby, So she don't know. So I was thinking, so when I came back from work after I did my client and I saw that she was still here, I was so happy. So, and then I had to go pick up my husband because my husband's truck has been at the mechanic. So when I went to pick up my husband, so when we were on our way back, he says, so baby, he says, I've been thinking. He says, so what do you want to do with the cat? I said, baby, I said, I talked with one of my clients during the day and she can recommend for me to call SPCA because she was telling me that if I call SPCA, it's not guaranteed that they're gonna save the cat's life. If they don't have enough space, they're gonna put her to sleep, put that cat to sleep. And I said, baby, I said, if they put that cat to sleep, if I drop her, take her to SPCA, and that they end up taking her life, I'm gonna feel like I'm the one killing that cat. So anyway, guys, the reality is, my husband, he says, baby, he says, I was thinking during the day, and because my husband is a man, guys, that he has never owned a cat. This is the first cat that he has. Okay, I'll be honest with you. He grew up with dogs, but not with cats. So he says, baby, he says, isn't your birthday around the corner? I said, yeah, my birthday is around the corner. He says, well, guess what? He says, I've been thinking that since it's your birthday and your birthday is around the corner, why don't we go ahead? He says, and he says, you know you're going to be the one taking care of them. He says, because I'm always working. I said, yeah, I know. He says, that just means you're going to have more work. He says, but since your birthday's around the corner, he says, I was thinking we can keep the cat. That'll be your birthday gift. That's the best, okay, birthday gift that I have had because I've been wanting a cat for a while. God knows that. I've been wanting a cat for a while. Okay, but I also did not want to go, okay, against my husband's will. I'll be very sincere with you because I know that my husband is a man that he likes dogs, okay? But the reason why I guess he's been thinking that he don't like cats because he's never really had one because now he's in love with this cat. So anyway, so he let me keep her, and we are calling her Grace. So anyway, so that night when we came back home, me and him, right, and after that we were having that conversation, we came back home. He says, okay, baby, he says, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go home, we're gonna eat dinner. He says, and I need you to put gloves on. He says, and we're gonna take that cat. We're gonna offer that cat some meat. That's the only way that she's gonna get close to us, and we're gonna get a hold of her, and then we're gonna take her upstairs and we're gonna give her a bath. He says, you're gonna give her a bath. Because during the day, before I even went to pick my husband up, this is so funny. My husband says, I can't believe you did that. I was able to finally get a hold of her, and I wanted to bathe her. I had a little bucket, but I can't believe, I'm thinking that I can bathe her outside. So I had her in my hand. As soon as I tried to put a little bit of water on her, she just, she scattered, she just jumped off and she went straight into the shed, underneath. My husband is like, baby, he says, no, you got to bathe that cat. If you're going to catch a cat, he says, you're going to have to bring her inside. And you're going to have to take her to the bathroom and close the bathroom door and put her in the tub. It's the only way because she's wild. She's going to run away. He says, I can't believe you did that. But anyway, I did that. That's me, Teresa. So anyway, so we came home. We had dinner. And I put my gloves on. And then we went outside. He offered her meat. And I was able to get a hold of her. So we got a hold of her. Took her straight upstairs to my daughter's bathroom, closed the door, me and him, and I started bathing her. But then she was like fighting me. She wasn't scratching or biting because I said she's a baby, but she was like moving a lot, and she was meow, meow, meow. So my husband is okay, baby. He says, you know what? I'm gonna have to hold her. So he says, I'm gonna hold her. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to put the shampoo and scrub her because I had gotten some Dawn. I heard that Dawn is good, when animals have fleas. So I got Dawn. And then we also had a dog shampoo for fleas. So he was holding her. Guys, I should have recorded all this, but I didn't. So the two of us, we sat on the tub. And my husband Greg was holding her, okay, with his two hands, and then I was pouring water and we started scrubbing her. Man, and when we started scrubbing her, you should have seen the water. The water was so dark, it was nasty. I don't know how many days, this cat has not, I don't know how many days she hadn't gotten a bath. And we started seeing, and we saw the fleas. We saw how many fleas. I don't know how many fleas. I told my husband maybe 50. My husband says, no. He says, maybe you're exaggerating a little bit, baby. I'm thinking that she had maybe So I said, maybe 35, 30 to 35, something like that. He says, maybe something like that. But she had a lot of fleas. When I mean a lot, she had a lot of fleas because she had them stuck on her little chin right here, underneath her chin, right here, on her eyes. I had to use my fingers and I had to. So anyway, so we were baiting her and we used a brush to try and get rid of the fleas. That was not working. So my husband said, he says, baby, you're going to have to use your hands. So guys, I started just removing the fleas of her, okay? Fleas, after fleas. She even had, I don't know what you call those things. They're not fleas, they're a little bit bigger, but they were stuck on her skin. My husband told me the name in Spanish and I can't think of it. Can't think of it, but they're bigger, okay? And it almost looked like a mole. I was thinking it was her skin, but he says, baby, no, it's not, it's not. So I finally was able to get rid. She had, on her neck, one of them on her neck. But I took my time, me and my husband, and we started removing flea, okay, after flea. And as I am doing that, because me and my husband, we felt compassion at that moment as we and him were doing that, removing flea after flea from this little kitten, okay? I'd look at my husband and I said, baby, I said, because guys, it took us a little bit over 2 hours, I ain't gonna lie to you, something like that, to bathe her. That's how many fleas she had, okay? So my husband is like, I look at my husband, I said, baby, I said, do you know that this was me when I came to Jesus? I said, I was just like her. I was lost. I was astray. I was lost, Como dicen un vagabundo. I was, lost. I was astray. I said, and I told him, you see all of these fleas that were taken out of her? All of those fleas, okay? That's what I had. I was full of fleas. I had a whole bunch of demons, inside of me. I said, because I got so touched because at that moment when me and him were taking our time, like I said, it took over 2 hours to get her completely clean. Now she's not scratching herself no more, It makes me happy. It gives me joy to see that she's not scratching herself no more. So at that moment right there, it was like God was speaking, to our hearts, to the two of us, because it made me realize, okay, that what me and my husband, we were doing with this kitten, okay? We had rescued her. We have given her a home, But, obviously, we had to clean her really good before she was able to stay in her home. That's exactly what, Abba Father did with us, And me and him, we were talking about that. Then we finished cleaning her up. My husband is like, okay, baby, I'm tired now. It was a while, a cat from the street, a little kitten. I still don't understand how she got here, but God knows why. So anyway, we finished. We were brushing her really good, was scrubbing her everywhere. We took our time. We went between her little paws, underneath her tail. We even went and we wiped her behind, everything. We cleaned her really, 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 really good. Me and my husband, the two of us. And finally we finish up and rinse her really good. And then grab a towel. And I just started drying her from her little ears to her head, her little eyes, everything, just drying her. And then that little bed right there, let me turn it around. Let me turn this camera around. You see that little bed right there? I got her that bed at the Tractor Supply. But that bed right there, it actually goes up. But I guess she's afraid. So my husband says, why don't we fold it? You can tell that it's folded. And I put her in there that night after we bathed her. And that girl, she slept like a baby, just like when we have been set free, delivered, You guys remember when you were set free, delivered, you were no more tormented? Because imagine how tormented, imagine how she felt with all of those fleas. And now she's not scratching herself no more. Look at her. Now she's a queen, in her big bed, But I wanted to share this story, and like I said, I have like 2 videos I made of her, and I'm gonna see if I can put them up here. I just haven't had time. Eshe bebe, but look at her, and this is us now. This is us, those of us that we are in Christ, guys. This is us now. Abba Father, He has cleansed us with His blood, okay, and He has removed, okay, all of our sins. He has removed everything, okay. The Bible says, okay, that God, He nailed, okay, Jesus, or all of our sins and our sicknesses, infirmities, okay, they were nailed at the cross, guys. You know, but look at her. Look how peaceful. Now what? She does not scratch. She don't got no more fleas. I'm going to show you guys, okay, the video when I recorded her before she looked like this. Now she's new. And now she has a home. You know, and she's no longer lost. But it amazes me, guys, how God has brought my pets to me. You know, I shared a little bit just now. I didn't go in deep details, but I shared a little bit. Look at her, she's peaceful. So that's the reason why I decided to call her Grace. My husband says it's a pretty name. So we've named her Grace. Hey, baby. Look at her. So now she has a home, guys. And it makes me happy. Brings me joy to see my baby like this. So the next thing that we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking her to the vet. We will take her to the vet. Obviously, guys, she's still afraid, you know. She's still afraid. We are able to pet her and, you know, but then to hold her, she still fights us a little bit. ¿Qué pacho? Yeah? It's mama. It's mama. It's mama. So she's been hiding underneath the couch. Like, you know, whenever I leave, she's been hiding underneath the couch because I guess she's still trying to get used to the dogs, you know. But that right there, I was reflecting on that, you know. It's because she's afraid, you know. So a lot of us, the Lord, He has set us free, you know. The Lord, He has set us free from a lot of things. But then there's still healing that got to take place. There's still restoration, you know. And this little one, she likes to hide. So when we leave, she likes to run to the corner of the couch over there. And she likes to go underneath. And she stays there. I guess she stays there as long as we're gone. But while I'm here, yeah, you're getting used to mama. It's been a couple of days. Yeah. Will you let me pick you up so I can show you to everybody? Can I pick you up? Can I pick you up? You gonna let me pick you up? Yeah? So guys, I'm gonna be taking her to the vet. Can I pick you up? Yeah, can I pick you up? You're not gonna jump off of me? But yeah, she's getting used to mama. Let me see if I can turn this camera around. Ah, baby. There we go. It's my girl. It's my girl. Yeah, say hi. Say hola. Say hola. I got a new home. They saved my life. I'm so grateful. God is the one that sent me here. I don't even know how I got here. I had angels. I was like Moses. I was like Moses in a basket. I got here. I don't even know how I got here. See, she want to jump off. And I'm being careful because she has one of her legs. She's been limping because I think she got hurt outside. I don't know where. She has something at the back of her leg. Can you guys see there? See right there? She got hurt. I don't know if you guys see it. Ay, she want to jump. No, she going to jump again. See? Okay, fine. I'll put you down. I'll put you down. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. My name is Grace. And God saved my life. Yeah, now I have a home. And I am new. I am cleansed. I no longer have all those fleas all over my body. And I got a mama that loves me and a papa that loves me very much. Yeah. I finally have a home. I was lost, but I've been found. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to share a little bit of my baby. I'm going to see if I can share those 2 videos of her when I had first found her. So you guys see how she looked. She's my girl. It's up to her, you know. I'm in love with her. So anyway, I've been like cooking, baking chicken. I've been baking, because I give the dogs chicken. I mix chicken with their dog food. So just sharing a little bit of us. We are animal lovers. My husband, he never thought he was going to be in love with a cat. See, that's the reason why we should never say that we don't like something. Because a lot of times we say, well, I don't like that. And then I'm like, have you tried it? And they're like, no, I haven't. Well, that's the reason why how can you say you don't like something even if you never tried it? My husband is in love with this kitty. I'm in love with her. But anyway, I'm a mama. I'm a mama of two dogs and one kitty. I was thinking the other day, because I was thinking to myself, I said, well, my girl grew up. My girl is in college. We're going to be dropping her after summer back to college to go her back to college, because she's studying in college. And I was thinking to myself, I said, well, Lord, I haven't had another baby. I've been believing the Lord, for another baby. But it hasn't happened. So I'll be honest with you, sometimes I get really down, but God bringing this little kitty, I feel like I have a baby in the house. So I told my husband, I said, baby, I have 3 babies now that I take care of. Guys, I grab the dogs. I grab the dogs. I take them and I go for a walk, and sometimes I stay there. And my husband is like, baby, he's like, I was wondering. You said you went for a walk, but you took forever. I go and sit under the trees with my dogs, especially with the old dog right here, Chloe. This one right here, my old dog. And I put her on my lap, and the other one, he's barking at everybody as the cars are passing by. I enjoy my animals. I really do. You want me to get you up? Let's get up again. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah. My name is Grace. I was saved by God's grace. Yeah. Say hi. I'm telling you, see, she doesn't bite or scratch you because she's a baby. She's a baby. She wants to get down again. But anyway, just sharing a little bit of my babies. These are my babies. Meow. Meow. I love dogs and I love cats. If I was to pick between dogs and cats, that would be very hard. I'll be very honest with you. But anyway, just wanted to share a little testimony of how we got all of these babies when we have not bought any one of them. God has brought them to our home. Isn't that amazing? Look at them. They're precious. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. Be on the lookout. I have, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and share 2 videos of them, of her. When we had first found her, how dirty she looked, full of fleas, and I have a couple videos, okay, with some powerful messages to share on here. I love you guys, and you guys continue having a blessed day. I had time today, so I was able to do this live. God bless you. Thank you for watching.